Big, big, big!
In or out, it's your call.
There's no ref here.
That's on us.
Decisions like these are about trust.
That's spirit.
Not a slogan.
But to be fair,
Even when the game is on the line.
It's not easy.
Sometimes it gets intense.
Because spirit keeps the game bigger than the point.
Bigger than the call.
bigger than me,
It's how I know I can go all out.
and trust my opponent will too.
It's not just rules, it's respect.
Because when you respect the call,
You respect the player.
It's every decision you make.
Every conversation, every point.
It's the reason I compete at my best.
And when I have to make the call,
in or out,
I'll call it honestly.
Because spirit is the standard.
And we don't play below it.
All right, we are live at the Newton Athletic Park here in Surrey, BC for the Canadian Ultimate Championships 2026. We have a wonderful semifinal matchup here with Traffic from Vancouver taking on Quebec City QUB. My name is Habib Atala, and this is Catherine Fortin, bringing you some semifinal action here at the Canadian Ultimate Championships. We are really looking forward to this game. Thoughts, Catherine?
No, this is going to be a really exciting game parce que non seulement est le match en anglais, mais on va avoir du français aussi. Et ce match est vraiment intéressant parce que c'est leur deuxième fois qu'ils jouent ce tournoi. Donc, ça va être un bon petit rematch pour QUB et Traffic.
Traffic being undefeated throughout this tournament right now, going 6-0 to march their way into the semifinal, right? They're one seed of the tournament, and they are here to prove that, hey, we want to get to the finals, and this is what we're going to do, get through this game.
So far, Traffic is undefeated, so this will be a really exciting rematch to see if QUB will be able to challenge that undefeatedness record for them.
We also like to mention we are playing on the unseated traditional Coast Salish, Semiahmoo, Katsi, Quiquetlin, Kwantlen, Kikite, and Swanson territory. We are very grateful to be able to play and be here on this territory. Traffic is starting on defense, getting the pole set on their way. QUB is O-line, that is going to be out there. So nous allons une chance de voir la ligne offensive de QUB, et voir un peu qu'est-ce qu'ils aimeraient faire avec le frisbee. Et c'est parti, tout le monde! On est centré maintenant. On voit immédiatement un zone look avec le passé marteau qui s'en va au-dessus du cup. On alimente numéro 21 et sa passe est longue. C'est parti. Encore dans l'end zone. On cherche une trace. On cherche quelqu'un au milieu. Gros jam cut par le handler. Numéro 21, Fortier. On alimente Lacroix. Oh, gros layout de QUB. Traffic now has a chance to play offense, and here is your first break chance of the game. Bringing it up to the front line now. We are immediately looking for a deep look. Quebec defender seeing that and peeling. QUB un autre fois en offense. Deuxième essai. Lacroix encore avec le frisbee. Gros essai pour le passe bris. Break chance again for Traffic. Couple of turns on both sides. You could tell the nerves maybe a little bit high as this is a semifinal game. Looking like a vertical stack setup from Traffic. Getting up high for that pass. Looking like a pick was called. Also travel call. We got our observer crew here, Justin, Josh, Ethan, and Hélène here with us. So there's normally multiple calls that happen. We're going to address the first call that occurred and then maybe go to the second call in terms of chronological order. And we got our observer crew here to take care of that. Like the disc coming back on 1 here. We have Christine Guang with the disc, nice big arcing flick, and we hit the end zone for number 91, Marie-Ève Beauchemin. Strikes first for Traffic.
And that's the first break of the game.
If you're Traffic right now, you absolutely want to start on a break train, get the energy up all the way. Not much wind happening right now. There's a little bit of crosswind coming in from the bottom side of the screen to the top side where the stands are. And now that the nerves are out, we're looking forward to another 0 point here from QUB.
So you're a coach, Habib. Now, I have heard some people with the idea of power lining on the first point. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know what? The strategy will, there's always strategy that is important at the beginning of the game. If you feel like you can strike first and get up all the way to like a 2 or 3 or 4 point lead, a lot of coaches find value in that and playing all of your top guns right in the beginning of the game. Sometimes we want to see the course of the game. We want to see how our legs are feeling, so we start opening up a little bit of our D-line and O-line sets. So it really depends on the strategy here. It's looking like Traffic has multiple D-lines coming in here. Giant pull coming up from Traffic. This going to be centered. QUB encore sur la ligne offensive. On commence avec numéro 26. Même look, zone, and go Dewey with the disc. Gros flic qui sort un peu de zone. C'est central maintenant. Beaucoup de pression pour Traffic maintenant. Encore un lancer marteau, mais bien défendu par Traffic. Traffic is now going to be picking up the disc here. So a lot of hammer throws in the early of the game, especially to break the zone look from Traffic. Traffic electing to go again with their vertical stack. They seem to like having those big upline, getting into those power positions. Crossfield shot, backhand, going for number 99. Gets there, makes the one-handed grab. Looking for a couple receivers in the end zone. Likes to go with the backwards resets. Stall count rising now. Finds the front cone cutter. And a little pop pass for the second break for Traffic.
J'ai vraiment aimé les lancers-marteaux que QUB avait fait. Je trouve qu'on n'a pas vu autant de lancers-marteaux dans le tournoi, donc c'est fun de voir une équipe essayer quelque chose de nouveau et de voir de nouvelles façons de briser les zones que les équipes défensives mettent sur les équipes.
Jamie Ofstaz running deep on that one and making the one-handed grab, well-timed deep cut. And Traffic looking pretty comfortable on the offensive side. Their defensive offense is looking crisp. They are connecting. And right now, QUB is going to figure out how to get back into this game and hopefully put a point on a board, stop the bleeding here. Traffic taking control of this game early. Katrin, if you are QUB right now, what are you thinking offensively? Are you electing to go with the same looks? Right now, they have been able to work it up the field, a couple little errors, but what are you thinking right now if you're QUB?
I think that we would be running the same thing. Like you said, they are able to work it up the field. It's just that last right before the end, and that could also just be nerves and excitement being right before your end zone.
Well, once again, coming up in the end zone, QUB, on centralise, numéro 32. Encore la zone qui se trouve. On trouve les petites passes au far sideline. QUB qui fait un bel effort avec les 7 cuts, qui monte un peu sur le premier du stack. Le numéro 20. Hier Audet avec la passe. 25 Gilbert au numéro 3. On retourne le disque à Gilbert ici. Close sideline. On est en possession end zone. Oh, un gros effort pour numéro 21. Portier avec le disque maintenant qui passe à numéro 3. Tremblay Jiménez. On force backhand ici pour Traffic. Et c'est complété dans le open side. QUB avec le premier point pour eux.
Comme j'avais dit, je ne changerai rien.
Absolument, absolument. Davignon avec le cut. Une belle trace au front cone pour compléter la passe. Now Traffic, we get a chance to see the Traffic's O-line come out right now.
Now, Gilbert is a name that we recognize because we see her in the CUC area. She plays with Laval. So that was really fun to see her being one of the main handlers on QUB in this game too.
Speaking of QUB, nous avons head coach David Poirier, assistant Guillaume Turcotte. On the Traffic side, you got coaches Derek Chung, Benson Louis, and managers Sophia Chan, Chelsea Ng, and Silas Huizinga. So full staff for both teams, coming prepared to hopefully get to the finals, get to a podium situation in this CUC 2026. And Traffic, remember, this is not a new program. They've been founded in 2007 after Prime and Rough Riders. So 2 women's teams, Vancouver at the time, merged into one. So they have a lot of experience here at CUC. QUB avec le pot and go. Dewey, gros lancé au milieu du terrain. Traffic on offense right now. We center to number 9, Rockcliffe. Looked like a horizontal set from Traffic. Huge huck coming out immediately to number 22. Knocking on the door once again. Red zone situation. We find the bump cut. And that is a score for Traffic. Looking like a nice pull play off the bat here. What did you see out there, Katrin?
Well, I found that Traffic did a great way of just using a great flow and working the way up the field and just staying really calm with the disc.
I like to see teams taking shots early, especially to test their deep cutters, deep strikers, test a little bit where their throwing range is. Traffic's pucks right now, they are been dialed and on point. So henceforth seeing that, that great offense that they've been displaying so far early in this game. And of course, Traffic knowing that they are coming with high expectations, being the first seed in this CUC. So they want to be able to embrace the moment, show the best ultimate when it matters. So far, they're showing some great ultimate when it matters here. QUB is coming in with a little bit of a different target. They ideally wanted top 5. They are in the top 5 right now, so they are in a medaling situation. So QUB is looking to continue to challenge themselves and see where they would like to land after this this semifinal. But they are very happy so far with their tournament. It's going to be a great game in our hands. Huge pull, lasering down the field. QUB electing not to pick it up. Oh, errant pass thrown. a second effort attempt to try to close it out and make that grab. No calls. We are going to continue on offense here for Traffic. Another break opportunity. Looking up line. Shot is up. Just slightly dying down. Great effort by Traffic to try to get that second chance opportunity. QUB en possession maintenant. Lefty. Numéro 27. Blais Dufour avec la passe. On centralise à 28. Gendron. Gendron qui passe. Belle tracé ici. Front of stack. Gendron qui retourne le frisbee à Fortier. Une autre petite passe à 26 Lacroix. Oh, belle passe prise pour le numéro 25 Gilbert. Stockout commence à monter, mais on trouve tous nos tracés et c'est complété pour QUB. On marque notre deuxième point.
QUB, ils ont vraiment bien fait un vertical stack qui était bien espacé avec les cutters qui n'étaient pas trop dans la zone deep. Souvent, on voit beaucoup d'équipes où leurs cutters sont trop loin du lanceur. Donc, ça complique les choses puis ça rend les choses plus difficiles pour les handlers.
Beaucoup d'actions en avant du stack. Donc, c'est vraiment le numéro 1 ou le numéro 2 du stack qui continue à faire des tracés latérales de gauche à droite pour s'ouvrir. QUB qui montre déjà sont capables de lancer des belles passes bris, inside ou around. Et un gros flow au début pour QUB. This is a big break opportunity for QUB right now to see if they can tie this game up right off the bat. You love to see the game, the points being very close at the beginning of the game. I love the team mantra from QUB, by the way, is you're allowing yourselves to make mistakes. You know, you're okay with mistakes. They're going to happen, but you're going to triumph individually and as a team, and you're going to make sure that you are staying composed throughout this entire game. Traffic with a little ISO cut at the front. Again, electing to shoot early. Number 89. Beautiful, beautiful box out. Churchland read that perfectly. Our high arcing pass falling into the offensive player's hands, and Churchland making a perfect read on that. So a lot of hucks from Traffic, but they are working right now. And when you're a coach seeing that, hey, it's working, and hey, my throws are dialed, I'm going to get a chance to keep shooting this. Score is 4-2 for Traffic.
As a coach, when would be a good time to call a timeout?
I think there are two reasons or two ways I like to see it. The number one reason is if you're seeing the game getting out of hand and you need a mental reset, and you need the team to get back together, this is a great opportunity to hold everybody and say, hey, we're still in this game. There's plenty of game time. If you are tired on the field because this point gone way too long, there's been a lot of turnovers, that is also a great opportunity for a player-led timeout. Player can initiate that and say, hey, you know what? We don't have legs right now. We need a breather. We need some water, maybe some chalk. Throw in the chalk ball and get us going. And we can recompose ourselves for the next point. Pull from Traffic. Looking like it's going to be out of bounds here. Probably around the brick line. And we have been seeing some slough defenses, even some pseudos from Traffic. So a pseudo being that we're going to come down in a cup. And we're going to come down in what looks like a zone and then melt off and just go right into our match defense. Fortier encore en possession. À leur centrale pour QUB. Un gros stack vertical. Oh, quelqu'un qui n'avait pas de défenseur, numéro 35 avec le frisbee. Passe up line pour numéro 20. On cherche immédiatement un look end zone. Lacroix. Backhand. On retourne ça à Fortier. Fortier le lefty. On alimente le open side encore. Belle lecture et c'est complété pour QUB.
Non, c'était super. QUB, ils ont fait une super job en étirant l'espace du terrain pour être capable de faire cet espace et faire le point.
Belle exécution pour QUB. Belle énergie maintenant du sideline qui monte. Et on est remonté à cette game. And as mentioned, not a lot of wind. Not a lot of wind in general right now. So a lot of these big arcing passes, they're coming down sharp. They're not hanging too much in the air. And they're not pushing these passes down to the ground. So we're seeing a pretty clean side-to-side game here. And Katrin, question, do you recognize any players from the TC 2026
I do.
summertime? We had a huge summer this summer.
This is a great time to shout out our Tegan Nickel from Traffic playing with Team Canada Mix, along with Sarah O'Reilly, and Claire McJanet who played Team Canada Women's. Et sur le côté de QUB, nos joueurs des moins 20 qui ont joué à Le Grogno pour l'équipe Canada étaient Ellie Ngo.
Centering pass to number 9, Rockcliffe. For a vertical staff breaking off. And 33, Mason, swerve in her cut, make sure we are open. A little bit of a miscommunication there. And maintenant, c'est QUB en possession. Nous avons numéro 33, Ellie Ngo Dui, avec le frisbee. On voit le poach, on centralise le frisbee. Encore plusieurs défenseurs qui coupent les traces au milieu. Grosse passe du breakside. Belle lecture par numéro 6, Martel. La passe est longue. In traffic with the block right now. Back on offense. Menzies with a big pass to the center for 33. Huge hug coming out for Catherine Menzies. And a huge block. QUB avec le play défensif. Encore une opportunité de break. Nous avons Ellie dans le bail space, mais en possession maintenant avec le frisbee, le numéro 96. Alors, Traffic again picks it up, knocking on the red zone. Huge round pass to get it back to the center. And that is in the end zone, completed. Number 89, once again, Churchland.
So there's been some talk around all CUCs and CJUCs. Can you clarify, are observers the ones who determine if it's a point or not?
It's a good question, Katrin. We know for a fact that observers are making in and out calls, so active in and out calls. However, it is up to the players to make their active calls if they believe that they are in the end zone, if they believe that nothing has occurred. If they believe something has occurred, it is their job to signal for it. You know, if there is a down call, if there's a travel call, you got to get your hand signals out. I'm getting Clay Howlett's voice in my head saying, hand signals, use them. And then if an observer does not see a call, with their hands go down towards the end zone, that means something has happened in the end zone. They're going to look around. If there has been no calls, they're going to make eye contact with their fellow observers and signal a score. So it is absolutely up to the players to make those calls. It is a self-officiated sport after all. Another pull coming out from Traffic. Un autre zone look, les lancers marteau. Gros box out par le défenseur de Traffic. C'est peut-être un appel. Avait l'air qu'il y avait du contact sur ce play défensif-là avec le lancer marteau immédiat.
On dirait avec des gestures aussi que QUB est en train d'expliquer qu'il se sent qu'il y a eu peut-être une petite faute en se frappant l'épaule, en cherchant le disque.
Et nous avons toujours deux options. Nous pouvons retracer. On peut dire, oh, on va enlever notre call. On peut toujours demander aux observers pour leur avis, pour leur ruling. And Traffic getting the disc back after a retracted call. So break chance for traffic once again. We got Nielsen making that big grab. Back to number 16, Clay. Nielsen playing on the U24 team last year. Has a silver medal in Logroño. Was a little bit too far here. QUB en possession. Ligne offensive cherche une opportunité pour le hold, but passed just over the top, and traffic able to read that and make a play. Trying to go over the top for that pass here. Didn't look like it went inbound, so we're bringing that up just a little bit closer to that red zone space. We're looking for the big pass. Passe longue. Traffic play defender saw that coming, just put herself in that space and denied the opportunity for the number 24, Dufour, to be able to make a play on that. You're a D-line for traffic right now. You're happy with lots of turns. You're tiring out the O-line of QUB. A lot of bail paces, finding a middle pass, and finding the bump forward to number 25. Mason, Wager with the disc here. Broken up, and QUB avec une autre opportunité en offense. Un rappel, nous avons 10 secondes pour retourner le frisbee dans la zone centrale. Donc, tout ce qui est entre les lignes end zone, faut avoir 10 secondes avec le frisbee. Gros upline, gros attaque par QUB, numéro 27, Blais Dufour. On monte au cieux pour remonter puis rechercher le frisbee. Des belles cotes numéro 7. On cote vers le open side, puis après ça, on fait un cut 7 vers le break side. Encore une feinte de lancer marteau par Fortier. Lacroix alimente Gilbert et c'est QUB avec le point.
C'était un long point. On a vu beaucoup de revirements entre les deux points, mais ça, c'est un autre prix pour QUB. Et puis, c'est fun parce que je trouve avec les points qui sont longs, l'équipe qui gagne le point dans un point long, tu peux voir, c'est eux qui finissent avec plus d'énergie. Puis tu peux voir qu'ils ont encore beaucoup d'encouragement, puis ils ont encore beaucoup de plus de momentum dans leur jeu et leur jeu mental.
Beaucoup de force sur la ligne offensive de QUB. Marianne Fortier, gros bassin de lancer. Le lancer marteau, lefty. Donc, si tu es traffic, tu es sur la marque, il faut reconnaître qu'elle aime lancer bris, elle aime avoir ce gros lancer marteau. Elle peut absolument lancer le around back-end aussi. Puis, si tu es Lacroix ou Gilbert, beaucoup de cotes, beaucoup de endurance, sont capables de générer plusieurs tracés. Et semble jamais être fatigué, Catherine.
Ben, c'est fait parce qu'on dirait même, juste en général, QUB est vraiment une équipe qui adore utiliser leur marteau aussi.
Gros lancé par Ellie and go. And traffic right now centering that to our setter O-line handler. Laura Mason, the shooter, have been electing to throw lots of hucks that have been absolutely dialed. Catherine Menzies takes a shot, and it is beautifully read by number 9, Jessica Rockcliffe, going up with one hand. Sound like a broken record right now. Their hucks are on fire.
I mean, like you said, this is the perfect time for those hucks. There's no big wind or anything, and even if there is wind, the best kind of hucks is when you use your wind to your advantage.
And if you are seeing something like your traffic and, hey, this is working, or everything has been working pretty well for them, why change it? You know, if you can score in less than 5 or 6 passes, this is great for the offensive line. You get to save some legs. You get to get the D-line out there. And, you know, it's up to QUB to see if they make those adjustments.
Okay, timeout question for you. When is a great time to call a timeout? Would you do it in your zone of the field, or would you do it above your opponent's end zone?
I think it's very situational. I think if you're traffic right now, and you know you're almost at halftime as an 8-point halftime cap. You know you have those timeouts, so you could use them to make sure you punch in that break. You always want to go into halftime with high spirits, with that break chance. If you're CUB right now, you're probably wanting to save them to see where the nerves are going, where the momentum of the game is going right now. Un autre look zone immédiatement par Traffic. Gros lancé au numéro 55. Anaïs Schmidt. On retourne à Fortier. Un autre feinte au lancer marteau. Belle lecture par le numéro 26 Lacroix. Fortier retourne à Lacroix. Gros forehand. Passe longue. Deux défenseurs de Traffic dans le chemin. Defender from Traffic peeled out of the stack, being able to provide some support. And now this is once again another Traffic break chance. Bringing it out the fun line, tapping it in. Little side stack look here. Back to the middle for a power position. Inbounds called by our observer, Justin Lee. Huge upline game for number 91, Marielle Beauchemin. Looking for an option. Portier with a huge mark. Stall count rising. We like to go backwards to wager. Right to Nielsen. Nielsen to Quinn. Quinn with huge backhand around. Beauchemin. Fakes the lefty. Trying to move this really active Fortier mark. Finds Nielsen for the pop pass. Very handler-driven offense right now. Oh, what a grab by Nielsen to save that disc. Having to go against the grain, make the play. Acceleration by Nielsen. And Ty throws it to number 91, Beauchemin. Handler is very composed for trafficking, able to keep that disc alive, punch it in, and we are knocking the doors of halftime right now, Katrin.
Traffic is 1 point away from half. Half will be taken at the 8th point for the first team that reaches to 8. Pour ceux à la maison, la demi sera au premier équipe qui a 8 points.
And speaking of timeouts, we'd love to talk about it. This is a timeout call from Traffic, and I love this timeout. You know, this is a chance to put on a couple of crossovers, perhaps, to really seal the deal. There's starting to be a wind coming from the left side of your screen to the right side, so Traffic being against the wind right now. It's a great opportunity to make sure that you are going to punch in this break. You know, you don't want to give QUB another opportunity, so I love this timeout. This is good. If you're QUB right now, what are you thinking, Katrin? Are we sticking to anything different on the offensive side, or are we making adjustments throughout this point?
Honestly, I think we're keeping things as is, and that's only because it's been working for them, and they have a good flow, and they've been able to have some clean holds throughout this game as well. I think right now is just to, again, I would use this timeout to make sure that my team keeps their momentum and their spirits up and their energy, just so that they come in even stronger to throw off their opponent.
And we're checking to see if we have some crossovers coming into this this D line from Traffic. A couple of new faces. They've been coming down a lot in a pseudo zone, so at least a zone that lasts for perhaps 3 passes, maybe 5 passes, wanting to keep the QUB O-line sort of in between their brick and midfield. Also, I don't think Traffic wants to see a pull play from QUB. They want to eliminate their pull plays right away and give them an opportunity to throw more passes and having to use more of their legs to get open. We're seeing Quack on the line right now for Traffic. And the puller right now, disc goes up. We're seeing the Laura Mason crossover here. Oh, pardon me, that's number 20, Claire McJanet. Pseudo look once again for Traffic. Yelling shooter, shooter, that is Ellie Douille avec le frisbee. Absolument, elle peut lancer des passes longues. Gros bassin de lancer. On centralise. Il n'y a personne sur Ellie maintenant. Elle retient le frisbee. Code qui vient de l'arrière du vertical, stack vertical, numéro 11. Dontini. Turnover by QUB, Traffic. This is what they wanted. This is your chance to go get halftime right now. And you got Claire McJanet picking up the frisbee on the sideline. Ellie is on the mark. Horizontal flow to the center for Kwok. Back to McJanet. Pass to the middle to Jones. And she's going to fire up a huge blading flick. It was well read, but coming down a little bit low, so making it for a difficult catch. So QUB retains possession here. Un tracé qui vient du numéro 1 du stack. Elie Douille avec le frisbee. Gros around backhand. Unfortunately dying down just a little bit. Traffic picking it up immediately. Well read by McJanet. Activating her dump right now to number 19, Freeland. A little bit of a two-person action here. Ellie with the hands in the cookie jar to make that defensive play. QUB avec le frisbee. Oh, excellent, excellent catch par Ellie Douille. And Douille avec le gros lancer forehand. The wind picking up that disc, pushing it out just a little bit too far. Great effort from QUB.
Je pense vraiment si le vent n'était pas là, QUB aurait eu ce point-là.
And if you're QUB right now, you are playing defense on the end zone line. So Traffic having to go 70 yards to score this disc. So putting a little bit more pressure. Big mark by Ellie. We go to Kwok on the slash cut. Seeing the nice boulder cut coming in. Getting up is Jones. Faking the flick and centering it back. Inside shot. Turnover here for Traffic, and QUB once again with the disc. Passe centrale au numéro 6, Martel. Gros backhand, far sideline. Fortin cherche une autre option. Gros backhand, up line. Bel effort par Douille pour garder ce frisbee en jeu. Une passe brie inside forehand. Ellie with the assist, finding the QUB player.
Et c'est ça, c'est le point que QUB, on pouvait voir après le timeout qu'ils voulaient. Donc, comme on avait dit, peut-être c'est ça ce que QUB avait besoin, c'est juste avoir leur coach de leur donner un peu plus de motivation, puis garder l'énergie pour sortir et puis juste faire une petite surprise à Traffic.
And if you're Traffic right now, yeah, you call the timeout, you had a chance to get a break, but you're not disappointed because you know you're in control of this game early. It is 7-5, so you're just going to get your O-line back out there and just take care of business. This is an opportunity as well for QUB to get a little bit of their defensive line going. They were able to force some turnovers, and so perhaps this is a chance for them to not only force turnovers, but really take advantage of the break opportunities. Wind starting picking up here. It is really going from left to right on your screen right now. So perhaps the cause of a lot of these passes either going to the turf or just sailing out of bounds or out of the hands of certain players. So wind playing a factor, a little bit crisper, a little bit dialed throws right now. Traffic going right back to their vertical stack. We got an immediate up the line cut. A QUB defender poaching the stack here. That was Fortier. Get it right to Mason. And Mason gets it to Menzies. Menzies with the shot. And QUB, gros bloc pour retenir la possession. On est sur l'attaque Fortier. C'est Gilbert avec le frisbee. Grosse marque par Traffic. And 2 Traffic defenders going up, smiling at each other, saying, no, actually, I got it. Don't worry. Middle pass. Back to Menzies. Looking like a pick call here. We see the hands come up, the biceps come up. That means there has been a pick call. Reiterating the stall count on the mark here. Catherine Menzies with the frisbee. Menzies, a long-time player for Vancouver Traffic. We look for the bump pass to number 2, Lisa 2. Resetting it back around. The lefty backhand here to Menzies. Forehand shot. We're at the front cone here. Churchland. And there has been a call, observer signaling travel call by Catherine Menzies.
Although I do love that they kept playing and still caught that disc, even though despite there was a call. You never know.
Probably having a discussion that while Catherine Menzies caught the disc, turned the corner, perhaps the pivot foot was lifted up and kind of circled around the mark, gaining an advantage. So if I'll take calling that travel there. We are coming back here. Traffic yelling end zone, trying to get into their set. Looking like a traditional vertical stack. Inside chop by Menzies to Mason. Pick is called in the stack. They have possession in the middle. We see a lot of handler movement that is very disciplined by Traffic. You know, they are taking advantage of the high side and low side of the field. Depending on where their handlers are, they know when to go up line, when to be aggressive, get it right back in the pocket. Little scoop cut here by 2. Centering it back. Rockcliffe. Looking for the little jam by 2. Great defense by QUB so far to protect the house. Right back into the middle. Little pop backhand to Mason. Mason with the around. And there was no one guarding Catherine Menzies on that play. And this is how Traffic enters halftime.
Traffic did a great job recognizing that poach and calling it and punishing that defense. Now, with Wage earlier this week, she was one of our co-commentators. I'm going to have to throw this back at her because she said, you don't want to be the team that's 8-5 going into halftime because that'll have you shaking in your boots. So we'll have Wager later come on at halftime so we can interview her and talk to her about now her being in the hot seat. The tables have turned.
Absolutely. So we are entering halftime right now. Score is 8-5 for Traffic. C'est 8-5 pour Traffic. QUB, une chance de reprendre la deuxième demi et reprendre le momentum de cette game-là. We're gonna be right back. We got some halftime interviews for you and some commercials in this CUC women's semifinal.
Hi, I'm Kat Martin. We are back for our halftime interviews. We're here with Traffic and our two players. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Chewy.
And I'm Lou.
So, please let us know, like, how did you find your first half? Give us a summary.
You go. Yeah. Well, you know, we played QUB earlier. I think maybe day one we played them in our first pool, and so we knew a little bit of what they were going to do. But you know, they have also watched us and played us, so we just came out and we had a defense that was trying to shut down their first, and they have two kind of O plays, and we tried to shut them both down, and we were successful a couple times and unsuccessful probably more.
And on offense, we're just trying to find the open person.
Yeah.
We're calling plays, obviously, but we're just taking the breath and seeing what's open and taking that shot.
Yeah.
Are there any adjustments that you'll be making the second half or things that you're anticipating that QUB will do?
I don't think we're going to make any adjustments. We have a wide range of age on our team. We're kind of a combined team of Traffic alumni, a team called Vans and Traffic, and we think we've kind of figured out maybe the sweet spot of our line, so I think we'll probably just keep doing what we're doing. Yeah.
We know that QUB's going to bring out the intensity a lot in the second half, so we just need to amp it up on our end too.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allô, je suis Catherine Fortin. On est de retour avec nos entrevues de QUB. On se présente. Je suis avec.
Gabrielle et Maude.
Donc, Gabrielle et Maude, est-ce que vous avez des ajustements à faire dans la deuxième demi pour la game contre Trafic avec le score 8-5?
Bien, c'est sûr qu'il va y avoir des ajustements, je dirais, du point de vue offensif de notre côté. On a quelques erreurs à notre actif, mais je pense que si on arrive à justement plus concrétiser en end zone, je pense on devrait être plus proche, là, plus serré là, dans le score. Là.
Parfait. Merci beaucoup et bonne chance pour la deuxième demi.
Merci.
Bye.
And welcome back, everyone, to this semi-final matchup of your CUC 2026 here at Newton Athletic Park. We have our women's semi-final with Vancouver Traffic versus our Quebec City QUB. It is an 8-5 lead right now for Traffic, taking early control of this game. Pretty clean game all around. I mean, we've had a little bit of early breaks from Traffic, but QUB hanging in there, showing us that, hey, we're here to play too, and we are going to punch back. And right now, QUB is on defense with the pull to start the second half. Traffic on offense right now, centering the disc to Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe to Mason. Mason looking for that shot that she's been hitting all game. And a little pop pass for the score. Catherine Menzies once again punching it in. Mason really hitting all of these deep shots, and there has been no answer for those deep shots all game.
Do you anticipate that we're going to see a different line here for QUB going on?
I think that the line calling, knowing Coach David Poirier, you're looking at it from a bigger perspective in terms of time, in terms of what the point system is looking like. You're going to make sure that you're going to find a way to get back into this game, but also be a little more methodical about how we use our legs, right? You know, you don't want to play perhaps the same players over and over again. They're going to get tired throughout the later in the game. You also still have a second game to play, whether it's either going to be a women's final or a women's bronze medal game. So you want to save legs, but you also want to be able to get the matchups you want to claw back into this game. So traffic coming out with the big pull. That's Brienne Wager. On alimente Gilbert. Zone look encore par Traffic. Un chisel. Et c'est intercepté. Traffic with the interception. You're just dribbling right now, finding open players into central zone. Huge arcing backhand to the end zone. And it is completed to Marie-Ève Beauchemin. Just an unfortunate turnover, but Traffic being able to immediately gain yards, capitalize, and get ahead 10-5.
All right, Coach Chala, time to ask you another coaching question.
Why not? Never get tired of them.
It's 10-5. You have 5 points that, in terms of difference. What do you tell your athletes? I feel like in an athlete perspective, that can be very demoralizing or discouraging. Donc, comme coach, comment est-ce que tu parles à ton équipe? Comment est-ce que tu leur encourages de rester dans la game? Puis, parce que des fois, tu peux voir qu'il y aura du monde qui seront un peu défaits avec le score, avec le pointage.
I would tell them to stay the course. You know, it's just business. When you're an O-line that just wants to punch it in, it's just business. You act like you've been here before. You do what you've been doing pretty much all season, right? These teams have been playing many tournaments. You go and connect with the players that you know. So si tu es QUB maintenant, tu gardes toujours espoir parce qu'il y a tellement de temps dans cette game-là. Et tu gardes avec ton O-line. C'est juste business. On est ici pour faire du travail. Ça fait plusieurs tournois que QUB joue ensemble, donc ils se connaissent déjà. Donc on garde ça concentré, toujours. Big pull by Quinn. Believe staying in bounds. Oh, no, it was out of bounds here, so we are bringing it to the center of the field at the brick mark. QUB, encore en offense. On brise la zone immédiatement avec une passe bris. Cette fois-ci, QUB. Gros lancer cuillère attrapé par QUB. Traffic staying in this zone here. They're not melting anytime soon. Et QUB avec la passe longue au milieu. Au numéro 7, Ringa. Clendienst with the disc throwing to number 56, Baudet. Passe bris, attrapé par le numéro 96. Et c'est complété au numéro 7, Gingras, Alexandre Gingras. Belle façon d'arrêter un peu le momentum de Traffic. Et QUB va commencer en D.
Vraiment, une de mes passes préférées de Brie, c'est le IO flick. Je trouve que c'est un vrai talent de faire ce lancer-là. Et puis, c'est tellement satisfaisant quand c'est complété.
Ça ouvre tellement le terrain. On a toujours une opportunité de travailler dans le côté bris. And for those who do not know, that working that break side shifts the defense. You know, your defenders who are initially on the one side of their player have to now orbit or change the way that they're marking downfield every time you attack the break side. So huge tactic used right now by QUB. We've had absolutely beautiful weather here in Newton Athletic Park. You know, it hasn't been, 35 plus degrees. It's been truly 24 to 28 degree games. So the grass is in good shape. The turf has been great to play on, especially if it's been windy and cloudy. So we've been very fortunate here to have some awesome weather in Surrey, BC. Centering Mason throws to O'Reilly, getting it over the top to Menzies. And Chewy, as we call her. Tackerberry Giddens, lefty, back to Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe going to the jam behind to Tackerberry Giddens. Huge outside flick, good step out. Right to 2. And again, Traffic playing their 2 to 3 person game in the handler space. Trying to look for the jam, not there, but then we open it up back to Menzies, and Menzies with the break to the end zone.
Donc là,
Traffic scoring an easy one.
Donc là, on voit les deux équipes vraiment utilisant le terrain, l'espace et faire un gros changement de direction. And with that flow of just that easy changing it to the other side and, like you said, stretching the defense, as a coach, how do you stop that? Because both teams are doing it.
What's notable to note here is that Traffic has a very balanced group. No, there's not a single person that's, oh, they're the superstar, they're the biggest threat. To be honest, a lot of the vets bring composure, consistency. Of course, you obviously always have to keep an eye on Chewy, Catherine Menzies, and Brianne Wager in particular, but everybody's truly making an impact here. Like, this is very balanced. I always say to the teams that I like to coach, is say, hey, we don't have one hero, we don't have 2 heroes, we have 7 heroes on the line. So 7 players have to be the hero on the line in order to make the biggest impact. Coach Daring Chung proclaiming some adjustments for the defensive line here. Again, they want to keep the break train rolling. And as we get closer to the time situations of the game, so soft cap and hard cap situations, we'll tell you exactly what that means and what that entails. But so far right now, we have a 11-6 game. Traffic well in the lead right now. They're looking to pull away from this. A rolling pull, rolling all the way to the home sideline, closest to the camera here. That means you got to take it at the line. Nielsen, huge mark. Hammer time once again for QUB. On alimente. Et c'est échappé malheureusement. QUB en défense maintenant pour rechercher le frisbee. Traffic again with a red zone opportunity. Nielsen, aggressive cut to the open side. Trying to get that inside flick, didn't work. Huge up line from Wager. Starting so far back into the reset space, but then bursting with full speed to the front cone. And that was a very fast Traffic break.
I have to say, this has been a really great spirited game. There hasn't been many calls, and when there have been, they've been really easy to solve very quickly. Again, a nice shout out to our Team Orange here, but it's always nice to have a competitive game, but also with good spirit.
Absolutely. I think there's only been a couple of calls that have been discussed and just echoed, but for the most part, just a very, very high tempo type of game where not many stoppages, so things are rolling and rolling. And Traffic, once again, looking very composed on offense. They're hitting their strikes. They are also very aggressive up the line. They're also scooping, meaning they're using their body to seal the Quebec defenders when in that handler space. So, again, understanding how to get open. Traffic's doing a great job at that. QUB, un autre look zone. Chisel comes out from the back. Un autre lancé marteau. Oh, belle attrapée par Dufour. On retourne le disque au centre. Stall count qui monte. On retourne ça en arrière. Gros lancer backhand. Around pour Schmidt. Retourne au milieu. C'est Lacroix avec le frisbee. Peut-être un appel au stack. Un pick qui est appelé. Les joueurs offensifs et défensifs ont discuté le stall count avec notre observer, Justin Lee. Très important de comprendre c'est quoi la compte parce qu'on veut savoir est-ce que ce sera un reset, est-ce que ce sera un cut tracé vers le stack. 35 Alex Shownight. Animante au milieu, Gilbert. Gilbert avec ses belles feintes. On bouge la marque. Retourne ça au milieu, confortablement. Lacroix qui vise le inside. Un revirement par QUB. Traffic picking up the disc. Oh, electing to go over top. We're going to get Quinn in the stack here. Quinn being the initiating cutter. McJanet picking it up. We got Kwok, 77. Boulder cut coming from number 8, Kim C. And a shot goes up for Kim. Oh, pardon me. This is for number 91, Marie-Ève Beauchemin, with a huge layout, inches away from making that grab. Et maintenant, QUB a une chance encore pour reprendre l'offensif. Isolation au milieu du terrain. Slash cut, tracé vers le milieu. On retourne ça à la croix. On suit nos passes. Si vous êtes les handlers de QUB, passez bris, Ayo Flick. Presque intercepté par Trafic. Une passe longue. Est-ce que ça va être attrapé? Numéro 55. Belle lecture du frisbee. Nous sommes dans l'end zone et c'est marqué par QUB.
Leur 7e point. Et tu peux voir l'excitement et tu peux entendre l'énergie au stade.
Anaïs Schmidt avec le point. Gros backhand qui est sorti et une très belle lecture par Anaïs Schmidt. Elle a compris que le disque va flotter juste un peu puis tomber en arrière d'elle. Donc, elle s'est mise là. And we are getting told by the observer crew, Justin Lee, Traffic receives a blue card for double teaming on the mark. And for those who are not aware of what the blue card means, that is a team misconduct foul, meaning that this is addressed to the team. So these blue cards are given out so that they are warnings, pretty much, by the observers. If you are in possession of 3 blue cards, there starts to be yardage being given to the other team and getting yardage opportunities and advantages throughout the game. So this is their first blue card.
Now, what is the difference between a blue and a yellow card?
So a blue card is going to be a team misconduct foul. Yellow card meaning a personal misconduct foul. So if you have ever seen, let's say, an excessive contact by a player, normally you'd see an observer handing out a yellow card for something like that. But blue card is very much addressed to the team, like rushing the field or double teaming on the mark or something to do with encroaching the way of the observer. So something more, definitely a little bit more micro towards the team. So QUB coming out with a zone look or poachy look. Traffic being able to find their cutters in the middle. We pop a pass back to Menzies on a little J cut here. We are dribbling up the field now. QUB electing to go to their match defense. Big around shot. Oh, we thought it was going to hit number 2, Luisa 2, but then picked up by the other Traffic player. QUB really shuffling their feet on the mark, getting a piece of that as well. Putting a lot of pressure defensively. But O'Reilly with the disc. Jam not available, elects to go around to Menzies. Luisa too doing a great job of, again, scooping, sealing, and dishing to number 22, Sarah O'Reilly.
That is Traffic's 13th point.
So just some emphasis here, and by emphasis I mean something technical that Traffic is doing, is they are scooping. And we say scoop, but also I like to say the terminology sealing, meaning that when Traffic is cutting, they're not just cutting in a straight line. When they cut, they are trying to get inside positioning on their defensive player. So meaning that they're going to pick the inside shoulder so that their body is in front of the disc and in between the disc and their defensive player. So that is something that Traffic is doing a lot to, one, recognize that, hey, I'm actually open. I've boxed out my defender. Hit me with the disc. I'm wide open. And shout out to number 20, Claire McJanet, having a great game so far. picking up the frisbee, being able to be composed, hitting targets. Also, shout out to some great pulls by number 23, Brianne Wager. We've had some great pulls by Dahlia Quinn as well. I mean, pulling is a huge part of the game. So you got great pullers who can send that disc all the way to the end zone. You're making a big difference on your ability to play defense. And as we talk about that, we have a deep pull. QUB maintenant dans leur end zone. Pour la sortir maintenant. Portier, il retourne le disque à la croix. Portier encore avec un crash, un petit chisel par en arrière. On a des petites passes. On monte le terrain au open side. Traffic en train de forcer les passes et essayer de rester. Il veut vraiment que QUB reste dans le sideline. Tu entends le fire call, ça veut dire une passe longue, sortie, numéro 28 avec la lecture. Très belle lecture par numéro 28, Anne Gendron, avec les deux mains.
I love that QUB is still in this game and still grinding hard and really giving their all here with great flow movements avec la zone qui était là. Puis vraiment, juste en changeant le disque et sa position, c'est vraiment une bonne façon pour fatiguer la zone qui chasse l'offensive.
Très bon mindset par QUB. Oui, c'est 13-8 présentement pour Traffic. Par contre, il faut rester dans la game. La raison qu'on dit ça, c'est qu'il faut toujours rester dans la game parce que tous les points comptent. Puis, il y a toujours une opportunité pour changer le momentum de la chute. Et en même temps, tous les points comptent pour la chimie, la connexion. Tu veux voir si ce qu'on fait en offense, est-ce que ça marche? Est-ce qu'on peut prendre tout ce qu'on vient juste de faire dans cette game-là puis apporter à une nouvelle game plus tard dans la journée? Puis en défensif aussi, si on est capable de mettre la pression, ça, c'est la pression qu'on veut étendre aussi pour la prochain match. Traffic centering it once again to Jessica Rockcliffe. And again, another shot coming up to a wide open cutter. Menzies coming up with two hands. I'm going to say this right now. Laura Mason is unstoppable with these forehand hucks. Always having an open look, always having an opportunity to shoot, and they have been floaty and away from the defense, getting an opportunity for Traffic to just go up with two hands and secure the catch.
Et là, juste un petit rappel, just a little friendly reminder. The game goes to 15 points with Traffic only having 14 and QUB 8. Donc, le pointage va jusqu'à 15 et Traffic a 14 points et QUB a 8 points présentement.
So if you're Traffic right now, you're going on with a D-line to seal the deal. And again, si vous êtes QUB, on va continuer à jouer ce match. Encore, on va dire tous les points comptent, tous les points peuvent avoir plusieurs impacts sur la chimie, la connexion, les possessions qu'on prend en tant qu'apprentissage pour le prochain match, soit le prochain match qui soit un final ou une médaille de bronze. So everything that you do has impact. So you want to keep playing this game, you want to keep putting pressure. You are in a semifinal after all. Get Brianne Wager right now. Oh, pardon me, Claire McJanet with the big pull here that is floating. QUB en attaque. Gilbert. On commence le faux encore avec le top du stack. Premier qui cut. Gilbert avec le upline. Gros bris qui centralise à numéro 24, Dufour. Lacroix. Gilbert. Gros around encore. Belle lecture. Gros around encore, mais ça n'avait pas fonctionné. C'était peut-être dans la main, mais juste échappé par QUB. Traffic. This is your chance to seal the deal. QUB is having some undercutters communicating some poachy looks here. Taking away immediately that open side shot. Oh, a wonderful attempt to keep the disc alive here. And it looks like we're going to get a injury call from number 91, Maria Beauchemin. So attempting to make a play on that disc that was floating just enough. And great call by Coach David Poirier to get Fortier out there, you know, one of your big handlers, to command that O-line. So disc is going to be tapped in. So when there is an injury call, and if you're a new player that's being subbed on, you tap the ground. And once you tap the ground, that means play is live. We just have to make sure players go back to where they were on the time that the injury occurred. And so you can see Nielsen there tapping the disc in. QUB, une chance. Gros feinte. Fortier retrouve son bail. Up the line. Est-ce qu'on est dans l'end zone? Oui, c'est complété.
J'ai vraiment aimé le end zone que QUB ils ont placé. Toutes les joueuses étaient écartées, puis ça laissait beaucoup de poach de Trafic. Puis on dirait que Trafic était un peu confus pour quelques secondes en train d'ajuster leur défense. Puis avec ça, QUB a été capable de trouver leur isolation puis donner le point.
And this is why you always sub. I'm a big believer that if, you know, an injury has occurred, obviously you wish all players are okay in the end, but this is an opportunity for the other team. If you can put on fresh legs, if you can put on an extra cutter or a handler type that can get onto the fields, major advantage, right? So I'm a big fan of you use your subs, use the depth of your team as a tactical approach. So great call by David Poirier there.
I mean, you have the opportunity. Why not use it, right?
So this is where time is a factor, because yes, the score is 14-9. However, you know, you don't have a limited time in games. You know, the soft cap is going to be coming up soon. So if you're QUB right now, you want to be able to keep that game going, and you want to be able to score quickly, because if soft cap occurs and if then hard cap occurs, there will be no longer time in the game to get back into the game. So you want to be able to get this 5-point deficit, excuse me. You want to be able to bring it back to at least 2. Zone look from QUB. Traffic being able to dissect a little bit, and they are dribbling that now up the field, back and forth. Menzies puts up a shot. Is this the winner? It is caught, however, observers signaling out of bounds, so opportunity there, slightly missed. But Eli Ngo Dui avec le frisbee. Break chance opportunity for QUB. On feinte la passe longue. And a double block by number 22, Sarah O'Reilly. Seeing that, she was covering the unders, but seeing that the shot went up, took a look. And now it is Mason with the frisbee. Inside shot. Right back to 22, Sarah O'Reilly. O'Reilly with the jam cut to Mason. Back and give and go play with number 22 and number 33. This has been so far just an O'Reilly and Mason. Back to 2. 2 playing dribble. Looking for the around. Takaberry Giddens finds Catherine Menzies, and that is the game. 15-9 finish Traffic over QUB in this women's semi-final. That is a way to seal the deal. Traffic's offense has been very much on point all game. There was absolutely no answer for Laura Mason's deep shots. You had plenty of receivers that were reading that disc perfectly. What a really good offensive and defensive game by Traffic.
And Traffic gets to continue with their undefeated streak here at CUCs. You will now see them as they move on to the finals. I'm going to get a little score check to see if their opponent on the other field, which we have Remix and Fusion, who are playing the other side of the semis, and who they will meet in the finals.
Si vous êtes QUB maintenant, vous allez avoir une opportunité pour chercher la médaille de bronze. Donc, il y a un autre game à jouer aujourd'hui, un autre match qui serait très serré, évidemment. Donc, for QUB, you know, go get a chance to get a bronze medal. You played a great game as well, putting up 9 points. And this has been a great start to our Saturday, getting this semifinal out of the way. My name is Habib Atala, and I'm here with Kat Fortin. We are signing out of this game of our CUC 2026 here at Newton Athletic Park. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.